Welcome to the student of class 10. In the last class, I have discussed about the physical and chemical properties of metal and non-metal. So, your third chapter. Normally, to repeat in brief, what are the physical properties of metal? They exist in the solid crystalline state. They have high melting point, boiling point. They are malleable. They are ductile. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. They have metallic luster and they produce sonorous sound. Non-metal are gaseous or liquid or soft solid, low melting point, boiling point, low density, non-malleable, non-ductile. They are bad conductor of heat and electricity. They cannot produce sonorous sound and they are dull in appearance. In terms of chemical properties, metal are electropositive, non-metal are electronegative. Metal can lose electron to form cation, so they are good reducing agent. Non-metal generally gain electron to form anion, so they are good oxidizing agent. Metal, during electrolysis, the metal ion migrate towards the cathode, but non-metallic ion migrate towards the anode. Metal generally reacts with water under different conditions to form hydrogen gas. Non-metal does not generally reacts with water except carbon. Carbon reacts with water in form of steam at high temperature to form carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Active metal reacts with dilute acid to liberate hydrogen gas, but non-metal does not react with dilute acid. The metallic oxide are either basic or amphoteric, but non-metallic oxide are either acidic or neutral. So these are the main point of difference on the basis of physical and chemical properties. Now today I will discuss about the extraction of metal. That is known as metallurgy. Now you know the metal, except few metal, that is gold or platinum or silver, they are found in nature in the native state. Native state means in the free state. But almost all metal cannot be found in nature in the native state. Why? Because they are highly reactive. Since sodium, potassium, calcium, iron, copper, they are highly reactive. So when they react with atmospheric oxygen or H2S or water vapor or carbon dioxide to form either carbonate or sulfide or sulfate or halide and so on. That is, metals are found in the combined state. For example, all calcium metal are found in the form of marble, calcium carbonate. Magnesium metal are found in the form of dolomite. Sodium metal can be found in the form of sodium chloride. Iron metal can be found in the form of ferric oxide or ferroferric oxide. These compounds of metal which are found beneath earth together with earthly impurities are called mineral. So you first remember one term, mineral. What is mineral? It is the compounds of metal found beneath earth, together with earthly impurities. What are the earthly impurities? Say mud, sand. This is called mineral. These are called mineral. Compounds of metal, say calcium carbonate is a mineral, dolomite is a mineral, hematite is a mineral, iron pyrites is a mineral. These compounds of metal which are found beneath earth together with earthly impurities are called mineral. Now from all minerals we cannot extract metal profitably and conveniently. There are some minerals from which the extraction of metal is very difficult and the cost of production is very high. So they are not economically favorable. But there are some minerals from which we can extract the metal profitably and conveniently. Those minerals from which the metal can be extracted profitably and conveniently are called ore. So next হচ্ছে number 2 the term ore. ore হচ্ছে minerals minerals from which metals can be extracted profitably and conveniently is called ore. তাহলে minerals from which metals can be extracted profitably and conveniently are called ore. That means all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ore. For example, iron pyrites, FeS2, iron pyrites, this is known as iron pyrites. Iron pyrites is a mineral of iron but not a ore. Why? Because it is very difficult to extract iron from iron pyrites. But hematite and magnetite, Fe2O3 or Fe3O4 are the ore of iron. So you remember some important ore of some important element. What are the ore of some important element? Say iron. The ore is hematite and magnetite. Aluminium, the important ore is bauxite and cryolite. Zinc, important ore is zincite and zinc blende. Lead, the important ore is galena. Sodium, what is the important ore? Rock salt. Calcium, important ore is marble. So these are say mercury, important ore is cinnabar. এটা ফর্মুলা হচ্ছে HgS. Silver, important ore is হর্ন সিলভার, এর ফর্মুলা AgCl. or argentite, ঠিক আছে, Ag2S, silver sulfide. So these are some important ore of the metal from which we can extract metal. Another term beside mineral and ore, ঠিক আছে, another term is slag. You already informed that ore contains some impurities, say earthly impurities, maybe mud, maybe sand, water. To remove these impurities, some chemical is added from outside. The chemical added from outside is called flux. Flux was a chemical added to remove impurities from ore. This is called flux. Now slag was a flux plus impurities. The flux combined with impurity to form slag. For example, say impurity হচ্ছে তো sand is the impurity. We remove this sand, we add the flux as calcium oxide, marble. Now this calcium oxide and sand SiO2 combine to form calcium silicate. This is known as slag. So what is the flux? Flux are the chemicals which are added from outside to remove the impurities. Now flux are two types, acidic flux and basic flux. If the impurities are acidic, then we add the basic flux, say calcium oxide, magnesium oxide. Or if impurities are basic, then we add the acidic flux, say sand or silicon dioxide. Now this flux and impurities combine to form a compound that is known as slag. So you remember these four definition: mineral, ore, flux and slag. Now, extraction of metal from the ore. There are several processes. You first follow these 4 important processes for the extraction of metal from the ore. What are the 4 processes? The first process is the concentration of ore. Concentration of ore. That is, say ore contain only 30% metal. The rest are impurity. Some method is employed to remove some impurities to enrich the percentage of metal in the ore. This process is known as concentration of ore. There are 4 steps for the concentration of ore. That is, concentration of ore can be done by 4 ways. Number 1, magnetic separation process. Magnetic separation process. Number 2, flotation process. Number 3, gravity separation. And number 4, leaching. Leaching মানে হচ্ছে chemical method. By this 4 way, we can enrich the percentage of metal in the ore. Magnetic separation process is done if the ore is magnetized and impurity is non-magnetized, or ore is non-magnetized and impurity is magnetized. The ore is taken from beneath, from mines. It is then crushed into powder by crusher machine. The powdered ore then rotate on a turbine on a machine. Say you have seen the machine that is found in the say this is a machine. This is a conveyor belt. This is the conveyor belt. The machine is rotated in the conveyor belt that is found in the wheat machine. Wheat flour produce the wheat flour. Now in conveyor belt, the ore is powdered form is poured on the conveyor belt, and there is a strong electromagnet connected here. Now when the powdered ore from on the conveyor belt passes in this way, when it rotates in this way, then due to centrifugal force, the non-magnetic ore falls in the distance place and magnetic ore falls in the near place, because if a strong electromagnet is attached with this. So if the magnetic ore, say iron ore, attracted by electromagnet, so they will fall here, and non-magnetic substance fall here due to greater centrifugal force. So two heap is produced and we can separate this. This process is known as magnetic separation process. This is mainly done for magnetic ore. In the froth flotation process, the sulfide ore, froth process, এটা হচ্ছে আয়রন, কোবার, নিকেল, এদের ক্ষেত্রে ইউজ করা হচ্ছে। ফ্রথ ফ্লোটেশন প্রসেস মেনলি ইউজ ফর সালফাইড ওর, সে জিঙ্ক সালফাইড, lead sulfide, mercuric sulfide, copper sulfide. For this sulfide ore, we apply the froth flotation process. In this process, in a large iron tank, some water and powdered ore is taken, and we add some pine oil, and then high speed air is passed through the water solution. The air agitates the solution. Since the pine oil is present, so there will be froth at the surface of the liquid. The sulfide ore stick at the froth, and the impurity due to gravity settle down. After the settle down of the impurity, say mud or sand, the sulfide ore that is stick to the froth, we remove it and wash with water to obtain the ore. In this way, we can remove some impurities. This is known as froth flotation process. This process is applied for the sulfide ore. Next process was a gravity separation process. In this process is done if the ore is very heavy and impurity is lighter. That is, there is difference in density. The density of ore is very high and the impurities present but associated with the ore is very less. Then we apply this process. We take a wooden group, sloping group. You imagine a staircase, wooden sloping staircase, and the powdered ore mixed with water is passed through the sloping staircase. So this is the sloping staircase. The group in the wooden slope is group. When powdered ore powder ore plus water at high speed flow through the sloping surface. The lighter impurities flown here and the heavy ore stick to the group. কাঠের যে গ্রুপ কাটা আছে, গর্ত করা আছে, হোল করা আছে, the light heavier impurities stick to the group and the lighter impurities flown away. In this way we can increase the percentage of metal. This process is known as gravity separation process. Mainly lead or tin, their ore can be concentrated by this process. আর leaching হচ্ছে chemical process where we convert the ore into a soluble salt by adding some suitable chemical, and impurity does not react with this chemical, they remain unaffected and settle down. Then we filter and remove the impurity, and from the soluble salt of the ore we can extract the metal. This is known as leaching. Say silver salt or aluminum salt can be purified by this process. So these are the four processes by which we can enrich the percentage of metal. This is known as concentration of ore. In the next step, the second step is the conversion of ore. Conversion of ore into metal oxide. Into metal oxide. That is, if say ore is metal sulfide or metal carbonate or metal sulfate or lower metal oxide, then we have to convert this ore into metallic oxide, because it is very easier to reduce the metallic oxide as compared to metallic sulfide or metallic carbonate. So we convert the ore into oxide by two processes. One is known as roasting. One is known as roasting, another is known as calcination. The calcination, the roasting is done for sulfide ore. Roasting is done for sulfide ore and calcination is done for carbonate ore. What is roasting? It is the process of heating the sulfide ore at very high temperature below its melting point in presence of sufficient oxygen. The process of heating the sulfide ore at high temperature below its melting point in presence of excess oxygen. When the sulfide ore heated in presence of oxide, say zinc sulfide, when heated with oxygen, it converted to zinc oxide plus SO2. Say lead sulfide, PbS, when heated with oxygen, it converted to lead oxide plus SO2. SO2 gas, due to volatile nature, evaporate, we get the oxide. This oxide can easily be reduced to metal. So this process of heating the sulfide ore in presence of oxygen at high temperature below its melting point is known as roasting. Another process, calcination, it is mainly done for carbonate ore. The calcination is mainly done for carbonate ore. In this process, the metal carbonate is heated at high temperature below its melting point in absence of oxygen. Roasting is done in presence of oxygen, but carbonation, but calcination is done in absence of oxygen. Say calcium carbonate, when heated at high temperature, it forms calcium oxide and CO2. Zinc carbonate, when heated at high temperature, it forms zinc oxide and CO2. Copper carbonate, when heated, it forms copper oxide and CO2. They are eliminate as a gas, and the solid red left is the oxide of metal. This oxide of metal can be easily reduced. So second step is the conversion of the metal sulfide or carbonate into oxide for better reduction. This can be done by two processes, either by roasting or by calcination. Roasting is done for sulfide ore in presence of oxygen at high temperature, and calcination is done for the carbonate ore in absence of oxygen. By both roasting and calcination, we convert the ore into oxide. So this is the second step. What will be the third step? Third step is the conversion of oxide into the metal. So third step is conversion of metal oxide into metal by reduction. by reduction. So that will be discussed in the next class, but this is very important. We have to convert the different metallic oxide to metal by using different reducing agent. Normally the reducing agent generally taken are hydrogen or carbon monoxide or carbon, and the final step is the refining of metal. Say after reduction, when you obtain the metal, say this metal contain 95% pure metal, another 5% impurities or 4% impurities is present. Now the final step is to remove this impurity so that we can get 99.9% pure metal. So this two process, conversion of metal oxide to metal and the refining, that will be discussed in the next class.